Onoja Oboni was a legendary Igala warrior. He had 6 fingers on each hand and 6 toes on each foot. He was a giant. History has it that he attempted to stop the flow of the river Niger. The accounts are silent on why he, acting alone, wanted to do this. However, the same sources are quite eloquent on the reason behind another attempt by him to construct a tower to the skies with the intention of fighting the people in the heavens. As the account puts it, sooner than later, the tower collapsed, killing many. He was said to have single-handedly built the walls around Ogurugu, a community in Enugu State. The remains of the walls are still visible today. In examining the story of Igala communities in Enugu State, it is impossible to ignore the fascinating narratives relating to Onoja Oboni, who from all indications seems to have been above average in virtually everything. For instance, one account states that he had 500 wives as well as 1,000 drummers. He is credited with extending Igala influence into large parts of Igbo land. When the history of giants who lived in the Nigerian region is to be written, the exploits of Onoja Oboni will most likely occupy one whole chapter in that work.
Okay, Ogugu laki ugomela, umado ogugu lakela. Ewo jogugu ye, alop mela uwalaki, uleki ugomela. Obatamu, ateda, achanya, upali, makotop, ufigbi, ufuluku, ukwaja, edejo. Akakela, kanugugu de. Tama de opui. Mamu staff fake lecture, staff fake bogugu de. Ugu kidon staff fake made. Because I be a day all of me lale, ulela no way.
A festival is held each year in honor of Onoja Oboni in Ogurugu, a community where Igala is still widely spoken today. It is a taboo for women to be present at the site of the festival. A cow is usually slaughtered during the occasion. His grave, or rather the area at its front, is the venue for the event, and this is a forested part of Ogurugu. A zinc covering shields the grave from the elements. Like the man himself, the grave has some traces of wonder, like the fantastic weaving around it. It is said that once each year, the soil around the grave swells beyond its normal size. Later in the year, the soil returns to its normal dimension. Obiechina Anthony is the secretary to the Igwe of Ogurugu. He sheds light on the career of Onoja Oboni.
Onoja Oboni is as a stubborn person. His father drove him and they come and reside at Ateda community. Really, his father is from Obatamu village in Ogurugu. His father really is from Obatamu village in Ogurugu. But when at Ateda and Obatamu, they are close friends. The man drove him and they come and stay at Ateda. And Ateda now gave him a land that they cannot drive him away. Then after some years, when he has grown up, he has never thought of marriage because of his stubbornness. Right? Then he came here and stayed. Here he died at Ateda. And before his death, he said that Ateda will bury him, since his father, Obatamu, has drove him away. Nobody dig his grave. Now he dig his grave, now he bury himself. And here now, the whole Ateda community has put here as a forest. No woman will pass here. He will never farm here. And the stick, when he dey here, he will never cut it. And before he came, the whole Ogurugu community, even if we go to Bamajana, Ogurugu has surrendered by rivers.
Ocholi Odekina is the national president of the Ane Igala Restoration, a body set up to unite the Igala communities across the world.
And Igala Restoration, AIR, you may call it AIR, an organization that is saddled with the responsibility of coordinating the rediscovery and the reunification of all Igala enclaves across the world, beginning from Nigeria, which is our immediate environment. AIR, known as Igala Restoration, began so many years ago.
The legend of Onoja Oboni helps to shed light on Igala influence on Enugu State and perhaps much further afield. Adiele Afibo, writing in Ropes of Sand, states that Onoja Oboni is believed to have been a giant with 6 toes on each foot and 6 fingers on each hand. According to some accounts, he was a scion of the Ida royal house, whose claim to the throne was through a female. Adiele goes on to write, if only scholars would look at the Igala side of the coin, they would discover Igala peoples and families bearing Igbo names, as well as aspects of Igala society showing unmistakable signs of Igbo impact.
Onoja Oboni was huge at heart and also a physical giant. He had those 2 attributes going for him. Oboni, an Igala word, means a man with 6 fingers and toes, each legs. That's the meaning of Oboni. Yes, if you are born today and you are extra. you understand? You are named Oboni. Onuche is the king of messengers. Onu is king, Uche is message. Onoja, Oboni. Onoja means Onoja could mean king. And even the descendants, after so many years, all the people coming from that region were Igala warriors are usually large. If you go to Ibajis are the Igala warriors also, you see them very, very, you understand, tall and hefty.
Odekina traces the Igala dispersal out of their homeland. He states that there were wars, social and dynastic developments in Igala land, which pushed Igala-speaking groups and influence into non-Igala-speaking areas. This includes areas in today's southeast.
This dispensation is as far back as some communities are as far back as 500 years, some of them more than that, up to 1,000 years of this movement. It's not something that happened at once. And it's as a result of as a result of war. You know, Igala nation had embarked on expansionist war severally, you know, to spread. That happened at some point. Then again, we had internal power tussle. Some dynasties were fading away, while some other dynasties were coming to take over. Like the case of Nimbo. Nimbo and some communities in Enugu State, you know, the movement of these people predates the Abuteje dynasty. Abuteje dynasty is the current ruling dynasty of the Igala. It's not the first dynasty ruling the Igala kingdom. We've had other dynasties before the coming of Abuteje. The emergence of Abuteje is around, you know, it's been speculated to be around the 16th centuries, between the late 15th to 16th centuries, thereabouts, the emergence of Abuteje. But Abuteje era, there were attacks that reigned at Idade, who, when Abuteje arrived, and there was a change of rulership, the other dynasties had to naturally begin to pull out, to withdraw. And in this case, the incoming dynasty would not want to have these other people close by. So there was a need for these people to move and move and move and go far and go far. That was how Igala kingdom spread over time, down to all those places. And in most of those communities, they were founded by the indigenous Igala people.
Okuta sheds light on the widespread Igala influence in the Nsukka area of Enugu State, covering areas such as similarities in names of plants and foods.
The entire Nsukka zone, they are all Igalas. The entire Nsukka zone, they are all Igalas. Tata. Even the names they call some of the crops, you know, like pepper. It's pepper. They call pepper akpoko. Akpoko is a Igala word for pepper. Yet, it's what they call it in Nsukka. Yes. They thought it's Igbo because, you know, it came down from the ancestors. Nobody explained to them that this is not Igbo word, that is Igala word. Like Ejima is twins. They are masquerade. They have one to that of Igala tradition.
Afikpo takes a position in ropes of sand where he comments on the trade between Ida, the Middle Belt, and beyond. He writes, "It is not unlikely that the Igala played some part in this trade as middlemen between the Sudan and the South, and that the wealth derived from this trade contributed in time to the rise of Ida. It would therefore be reasonable to surmise that it was during this period that the Igala made their first significant contact with the northern Igbo, especially with the Nsukka people and the Igbo of Nri Oka, thus initiating those centuries of mutually beneficial contact, which was to influence the cultural evolution of both groups so powerfully." Okuta explains why Igala is still widely spoken in Iga, his community, unlike other communities in the states which have clear links to Ida.
We still interact, because once you cross that Imabolo River, you are heading to Kogi to go and buy either fish or something and come back. So the communication language is Igala. You cannot get any other place they speak Igala deeply, except in Iga, Ojo, and Oglugu. These are the three Igala-speaking communities in Oboli Development Center of Ozowan local government area. And they are all situated along that river bank.
Okuta comments on the numerous ceremonial beads of Igala origin which he regularly wears and which most communities of Igala extraction in Enugu State tend to use.
This is his bead and more. There are ones I don't wear unless it's on a special occasion. And before I wear it, it has to be divinely inspired by the ancestors. This is Aka. This one has a symbolic meaning of the gods of the water. That's why it's shell. It's different from this one. So each one I wear has its own meaning depending on the situation. My father inherited it when he translated in 1995, February 10th. He asked me to put some for him before he died, because I was with him throughout till he breathed his last. There are some he asked me to wear him when he dies and put some by the side of his casket. That one has gone with him to wherever. But this one is part of the ones I inherited. It's like getting a bonus. It's like getting a bonus. So I cherish this so much. I cherish it so much. It's part of my dressing.
Igwe Jude Okeke of Mpunato Mpologu also draws attention to the Igala influence on Nsukka.
You know, people who are in Nsukka here, because predominantly they are Igbo-speaking people now, irrespective of the fact that the entire Nsukka land belongs to Ata in those times. And reasons are this. There is an adage we say here that Animani Bane Ata, and Nsukka is linked to Ashadu from Ata's palace. But when you say adage, sometimes it may be what old people saying, remembering what happened in those days when the younger ones don't know it. Through that explanation, and they may understand where their roots is from. So the entire Nsukka belongs to Ata's kingdom in those days. In those days, if you are to be given a position as a traditional ruler, if you are to be given a position as a traditional ruler, it must be the Ata who will give you the staff in those days. So if you ascend a throne as a leader or a king here, you will follow you to the Ata of Igala. Then you receive a staff from the Ata before you now become a traditional ruler. Even the Okanga, we call it Okangeze, that drum they beat for a king, was emulated from there. In those days, before you get your Okanga, it must be prepared from the Ata, and you get it down for you from Ida to this place. In those days, even the Eze of Mpologu, where I came from, Eze Nimbo, Ezabi, all these places, all these kingdoms, got their staff from the Ata's palace in those days. You understand? And even the beads and everything.
Simeon Idu is the Igwe of Mpologu Ata, located in Uzowani local government area of Enugu State. He says that there is one original Mpologu in Ida, Kogi State, from where there were waves of migrations which led to the establishment of at least 4 other Mpologus in various parts of Nigeria, including Enugu State.
Mpologu is a name. I just came into this world to find myself born in Mpologu. Mpologu is Mpologu Ata. Mpologu Ata because Ata Igala. We are from Igala. Mpologu Ata. The origin of that Mpologu is from Igala. Mpologu Ata. There are other Mpologus in Nigeria. I've not gone there personally, but I know they exist. And some of them interact with others also. Yes, I remember we have Mpologu in Ukehe, in Igbetiti local government. Igbetiti is in Nsukka senatorial zone, but Enugu State. We have Mpologu in Igbetiti local government. We have Mpologu in Emene. We have Mpologu in Agwata. We have Mpologu in Bendel, in Delta State. And Mpologu in Eda. So these are the 6 Mpologus that I'm aware of. Our names, Idu, the name Idu, is from Kogi. Kogi name, Igala name is Idu. Even my senior sister, Ojo means God. My senior sister, the name is Ojoma. which means God knows. So, you know, Mbulogu is as old as Nsukka senatorial zone. Like other communities in the whole of this, some migrated from Nri, some migrated from other places, but I know very particularly very well that Mbulogu we are from Igala.
Odekina looks further east and shows how the area of Aguleri in Anambra State was a long time ago also peopled by the offsprings of Ata Eri.
There was an Ata who reigned called Ata Eri, which the Igbos are calling Nri today. If you go to the Anambra plain, you will discover that the Agulere, the Agulere area and all those areas, which is the core, the root of the Igbo race, these people left Ida after that dynasty was dislodged. This was pre-Abuteje dynasty. So all these things happened around the 9th century, the 10th century. This movement from Ida to Agulere, all those places from where the Igbo race, you know. So Ata Ere reigned at Ida. Now, if you go to the Igalas in Anambra West of Anambra State, the indigenous Igalas in all those corridors, they belong to that dynasty of the Ere, you understand, the Ata Ere. And also we have, when you went to Ogurugu, you heard of Onoja Obon also, the Igala warrior who was also, he was on a mission to extend and go and explore more and discover new territories and found all those areas down to Onitsha there. So there's a point you trace this ancestry and discover, and you come to the realization that the Igalas and the Igbos at some point had common ancestry. That link of Atairi, whose sons left Ida and founded Agulere and all those.
Not straight to where we are presently are. There's a place called Aguega. Agu, then space, Ega, IGGA, at Ebaku, IGBA, KW, Ebaku, IGBA, KW, Ebaku. This particular place presently is in Anambra State. But then we settled there. I'm talking about Oboche village. If you come to Oboche village, you have local wards. These people I'm talking about now is my own ward that migrated from Angwa in Ankpa. It's called Ogago ward, Ogago kindred. We settled there from Angwa and we started farming. We formed a little community.
Like the Onoja Obon, for example, he went to expand, to explore. You know, Igalas are very, very adventurous. The Igalas in Delta, Oshimili, local government, which is Ebu, the Igalas in Ozigono in Edo State, Ubiaja in Edo State, and so many other communities in Edo State actually led because of the 1515 AD war between the Benin Kingdom and Ida. You understand? So war took some of these wars, not one particular war, some of these wars, Igala fought several wars, you understand, which led to the movement. Most of these people are Igala warriors, like the people in Ozigono, Edo State, Ubiaja, You know, they are the same clan. You can find them around the Ibaji in the current Kogi State. You understand? The same clan. The Igala warriors, they were sent to wage war with the Benin Kingdom. You know, there are stories of certain things that happened, and the attack told them, stay there, stay there, stay there, stay there. The Igalas in Enugu, for example, the chiefs are bearing Igwes today. It's because of the culture of assimilation practiced over there. So they left their own titles and they are picking, you understand, the titles of that state.
Odekina draws attention to the presence of Igala communities in many locations across Nigeria beyond what some may regard as irregular borders of Igala land.
The Igala chiefs in Enugu are today bearing Igwe, and their wives are bearing Lolo. We hope that this restoration movement, one of these days, will be able to get to the point where our kinsmen, irrespective of where they are, will be able to begin to be proud of their own identity.